You wait patiently for the perfect, polite moment to speak. You clear your throat, lean forward, and open your mouth. And they just talk right over you, as if you aren't even in the room. What do? You snap your mouth shut. You physically shrink into your chair. You force a tight little smile and nod along, pretending you didn't just get erased. Pause for a second. You think you're just being well-mannered. You tell yourself you're being respectful. Wrong. That's the lie you swallow to protect your pride. In that exact fraction of a second, the room subconsciously registered your place in the hierarchy. You broadcasted a signal that your presence matters less than theirs. These are the 7 polite habits that signal low status. And every time you use them, you hand over your power. You're walking down the pavement. A stranger is walking directly toward you. You both have equal right to the space. But as the gap closes, what happens? You don't hold your line. You break your stride. You twist your shoulder to make yourself narrow, and you step aside. Later, you're at an elevator. You arrived first. But when the doors open, you immediately step back. After you, you say, giving that automatic little nod. You order a coffee. They get it completely wrong. When they hand it to you, what do? You smile. You say, thank you. You walk out drinking a mistake you paid for. You call this being a good person. You call it having manners. Look at the pattern. You're the one who moves. You're the one who waits. You're the one who settles. In dozens of invisible moments, you are practicing these polite habits that signal low status. You think you're being courteous. Stop. You are actively training the world to treat you like a background character. You tell yourself this is just who you are. The peacemaker. Someone takes credit for your idea in front of the group. What do? You don't correct them. You convince yourself that the team's success is what really matters. You mistake your silence for taking the high road. Here is what nobody is going to tell you, but you desperately need to hear. They don't respect your silence. They see it as an invitation to keep taking from you. Your niceness isn't a virtue. It's a transaction. You are buying safety by paying with your dignity. Let that sink in. You are not being polite. You are being submissive. Every time you shrink, you are reinforcing these polite habits that signal low status. It has nothing to do with etiquette. It is pure fear. You are terrified that if you demand respect, people will stop liking you. So you settle for being tolerated. You're sitting in a meeting room. The door opens and the boss walks in. Instantly, your body reacts. You pull your elbows in. You tuck your chin. You drop your eye contact. Why did you just do that? It isn't etiquette. It's biology. Evolutionary psychologists studying primate dominance hierarchies observe this exact dynamic. When a lower status primate encounters the alpha, it physically shrinks. It looks away. It signals, I am no threat, do not attack. That is exactly what your nervous system is doing. You think you're displaying professional respect, but the primitive brain of everyone in that room is reading something entirely different. They are reading weakness. These polite habits that signal low status are literally evolutionary submission postures. You are acting out an ancient script of powerlessness, disguising it as courtesy. Stop masking your fear with manners. You type a text to set a boundary. I can't take on this project right now. It is clear. It is true. But your thumb hovers over send. Your chest tightens. What if they get mad? So you hit backspace. You rewrite it. I'm so sorry, but I'm just a little swamped. But I can totally try to squeeze it in. No worries if not. You had a smiley face. You hit send. You feel a sudden wave of relief. Pause for a second. Here is the uncomfortable truth you are desperately trying to dodge. You aren't doing this because you're empathetic. You are doing this to control their reaction. You are terrified of conflict, so you preemptively surrender. You use these polite habits that signal low status as a human shield. You trade your self-respect for the illusion of safety, hoping that if you make yourself perfectly small, nobody will ever attack you. You're by the printer. Someone walks backward and steps directly onto your foot. They were careless. But before they even turn around, what do you say? Oh, sorry. Pause. Why did you just apologize? You didn't make the mistake. You are reflexively apologizing for occupying space. That is the apology reflex. Now look at the space yield. Notice how you sit. Your elbows are pinned to your ribs. Your knees locked together. Your phone and notebook stacked in a tiny, neat pile. You compress your physical footprint. You tell yourself you're just being considerate. You think you're staying out of the way. Wrong. This is exactly how these polite habits that signal low status operate in the wild. You aren't being courteous. You are visually and verbally broadcasting a deeply uncomfortable message. My existence is a burden. High-status people claim space. You are actively giving yours away. You have the exact solution everyone is looking for. You know it works. But when you finally speak up, listen to the words coming out of your mouth. I just thought maybe. This might be a stupid idea, but I'm no expert. But stop right there. Why did you just wrap your intelligence in bubble wrap? That is the hedging trap. You are verbally destroying your own competence before anyone else gets the chance. You think you're being modest. You're actually telling them not to take you seriously. And what happens when you need to decline a simple request? You don't just say, I can't make it. You launch into a desperate monologue about your tired schedule and your family drama. You over-explain. You act like you're on trial, begging a judge for permission to say no. This is exactly how these polite habits that signal low status strip your authority. You treat your own boundaries as entirely invalid until someone else approves them. You have to disagree with someone. You open your mouth to speak. And what does your face do? You smile. A strained, apologetic grimace. You are delivering serious information, but your face is pleading, please don't be mad. That is the nervous smile, destroying your credibility instantly. Now watch how you ask a question. You walk up to them. Quick question. You say, words tripping over each other. Sorry, just one tiny second. You rush your pace. You speak at double speed. Pause and look at that. High-status people move slowly. They take up time because their time has value. When you sprint through sentences and beg for permission to exist, you look like a trespasser. These polite habits that signal low status are physical proof of your anxiety. You are rushing to get out of their way, broadcasting that your time is completely worthless compared to theirs. You sit with your friends and complain. You complain that you get overlooked for promotions. You complain that nobody listens to your ideas. You whine that people constantly take advantage of your good nature. Stop. Look in the mirror. You are the one handing them the instruction manual on how to disrespect you. You step aside. You apologize for breathing. You shrink your posture. You whisper your opinions. And then you have the nerve to get angry when they follow your exact instructions. Why do you keep choosing this? I'll tell you. Because playing the noble, misunderstood martyr is so much easier than stepping into the fire of confrontation. If you don't burn this manual today, look at your future. 10 years from now, you will still be sitting in that exact same chair, clearing your throat, waiting for someone to give you permission to exist. These polite habits that signal low status aren't just a quirky personality trait. They are your chosen prison. You are the architect of your own erasure. Picture tomorrow morning. You walk into the room. Someone interrupts you. You go quiet. You let that resentful acid burn in your stomach while you paste on that pathetic, tight smile. You stay the invisible ghost haunting your own life. It's safe, isn't it? Nauseating, but safe. Pause. Or you make a different choice. Next time you walk down the pavement, hold your line. When you speak, strip the just and the sorry out of your vocabulary. When you say no, close your mouth. Let the awkward silence hang there without begging for forgiveness. It will be terrifying. Your nervous system will scream at you to submit. Let it scream. Abandoning these polite habits that signal low status is the only way to claw back your dignity. You can be respected, or you can be harmless. You cannot be both. Which one will you choose?